see a new opponent out there other than?
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited to stop hitting our own guys and finally get a different team in there with a different colored jersey. For me, I think that's the most exciting thing is just to be able to get the season rolling and finally hit somebody and that's not wearing white or red.
Who have you been matched up with the most during camp that you're ready to just be done with?
There's a lot of guys. I think our whole D line unit, honestly. I mean, I'm sick and tired of watching film and seeing them doing great things on that side of the ball. So for me, there isn't really one guy. I think you look at that D line unit as a whole group right now, and it's just like there's different guys every day popping off the charts. So for me, I'm excited to see what they're able to do on Saturday. First time kind of showing their new silver bullets. Out there. So for me, it's going to be exciting to see what they're able to do. As I've seen what they've been doing to us for the last 35 days now. So I'm really pumped for them.
Is this a different opening night vibe for you than a year ago?
Yeah. I mean, I think right now for me, I mean, this time last year, I found out on like 2 days' notice I was starting and going into the game. Yeah, you can only imagine the nerves that were going through my mind. So right now, I feel really confident having a great game plan in place for them when they come in here on Saturday. And now it's 74 hours away from stepping into the stadium and seeing the foot hit the ball and going. So I think for me, just my confidence level is something that's really huge, and I'm really excited for to finally be able to play with this newfound confidence.
Did you guys get accomplished when you went to camp when it came to addressing some of the short yardage and game stuff that Coach wasn't talking about a lot?
Yeah, I think we really have. I think like we knew where our shortcomings were last year, and I mean, the first part of any problem was acknowledging the problem. So we knew where we were short at, and that was that short yard situation, running the ball. So for us, I think we really addressed it as a whole this whole preseason camp. And really, when we hear it's short yardage and that period comes on, those antennas in the back of our head go up like this is our money down right now. And I think that confidence, like not that we want to be in any short yard situations. Hopefully, we're just scoring touchdowns. But if we are, we're prepared, and I think we're more excited than anything for it.
How did you guys work it? Did you do it more than maybe you did last camp? Was it like an everyday kind of emphasis?
Yeah, I would say more emphasis and more that it wasn't just a short yardage period like maybe it was last year. It's short yardage period now, and we know the emphasis that we have to put on it and the focus that it takes to win those games. Because those certain situations that we saw last year, one situation can set up a course for a whole game. So that little situation, you never know when that one play could be that could win or lose you the game.
What do you think the ceiling is for your offense at 30,000 feet? You step back and look at the pieces you have back and the talent you have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to overstep anything, but I think I'm really excited to see what we're able to do. Kind of the same thing for the defense. Like I said, I think for offense, you see the talent we have from CJ, Trey, Jackson, Marvin, Mecca, Julian. I keep going. Our whole offensive line unit. I think you see these players and what they're able to do on the practice field every day. Like I can't wait until, like I said, it's a different color jersey out there and we get to do it to them.
Is there a little bit of a new identity for the offensive line with Justin being there? There may be one or two traits that people may see tangibly different than last year.
Yeah, I think Coach Fry's really brought a lot to the table coming in this year. And for me, I mean, speaking for myself, the confidence level that I'm playing with, having him coaching us is at an all-time high. I think I speak for a lot of the offensive linemen when I say that. It's just the way he's been able to kind of coach all of us as a whole, but then also individually and getting us better at like particular things that we need to work on has been really remarkable. And I think we're all just excited to showcase what we've been working on the last couple months now.
You guys the word opportunity talking about this game. What kind of an opportunity is it for you guys to show what you are postseason into prime time?
Oh, that's all this is for us. It's an opportunity. This is an opportunity to show who the Buckeyes are in 2022. Obviously, we won 11-2 last year, won the Rose Bowl, and for some programs, like Coach Day said, that's a great year. For us, that was disheartening. And I mean, I'm still sick to my stomach about that year. So for us, we know what the expectation is in our locker room, and now we get a chance to go show it on the field. And I think that's all we're asking for. It's just an opportunity to go show who we are.
Is that a tough way to live? That 11-2 makes you sick to your stomach, or do you like the high standard?
Oh, I love the high standards. That's the reason I came to the school because I knew that I wanted to be do or die every week. It wouldn't be putting all this work into what we do day in, day out, week in, week out, if that wasn't the standard. For me, I love that. I love the feeling of pressure, and I think a lot of guys in our locker room thrive off that, and that's what motivates us every day.
People see 2 first-round receivers deep, and they probably think inherently that it's is there a confidence level here with that position group is reloaded to some extent?
Oh yeah, I think that's a room that you really never have to worry about. With Coach Hart having all those guys and talent is one thing, but the group of characters and people you have in that room is a whole nother, and I think that's what's really been pushing that group. I mean, Julian Fleming, Jackson really stepped up as leaders I've seen so far, and it's been awesome to see what they've been able to do and build with the young guys coming in.
You guys obviously have 3 returning offensive lineman starters, but Harris is moving to tackle. 2 guys coming in who have played but haven't started. Just the confidence in that front 5 for you guys.
Oh, I think we're very confident right now. I think what we're able to do with the talent that we have, we have 3 guys returning. Paris obviously switching to left tackle, where it's more comfortable for him, so it's not really a switch. It's just going back home. And then Matt's played, I think, 500 snaps last year and started a few games in his career already. So for him, this is nothing new. It's just another day in the rodeo. And then for Donnie, he's one of the most exceptional athletes I ever played next to. So I think for me, it's going to be exciting to see what we're able to do and what we're able to put on film on Saturday.
Look, what kind of advantage is it to go into a game like this with a quarterback like C.J. Stroud, who is obviously experienced and established himself as one of the elites last year and stuff, compared to this time a year ago? You know, he's getting his feet wet. But
I think even this time last year, we knew what kind of quarterback we had in C.J. And now that he's had, whatever it's been, 13 games, or he missed 1, maybe 12 games now, that he's been under center, it's just the same thing, really. He's the same quarterback. He has the same traits. The one biggest thing for us now, he's the leader. He's our captain. He's our leader, and he's the one that's going to be leading us in battle, and I wouldn't want to run behind anybody else.
Is that where he's made the biggest stride, more than compared?
Yeah, I would say so. I think talent's always been there, and now he's just even a bigger leader.
Luke,
Where
from
did you
having
see-
gone up against this defense in spring through fall camp, what's that been like? What's the challenge of going against this new defense from your point of view?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I think right now they got a lot of good stuff and a lot of good players on that side of the ball. And for us, I think it's just going to be after the first couple drives, seeing what they're really doing and see what with their new defensive coordinator coming, and obviously their defensive coordinator, who's now their head coach, what they're deriving from that, what the new guys bringing in, and see what their base packages are. And after the first drive, we'll kind of have an idea what we're looking at.
You guys have multiple starters back, but also you're playing next to 2 guards you really haven't played next to yet in the game. What kind of advantage is it for you that the starters were solidified in March and you guys have just been able to gel together?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. I think even with having Matt and Donnie as the starters, we've been working in guys like Enoch and Josh Fryer, who really are like rocks. I think Enoch comes in, he can play left or right, and next to me, just after anything ever happens, that he's been solidified as somebody that I know I can count on. And again, it's not like I'm playing next to anybody new. I was with 2 last year, so Donnie was my guard, so I knew Donnie very well already. And then Matt, I started next to Matt for 2-3 games last year, and then we rotated him out, so that's not a new face either. So I think, yeah, we had guys already in March that I got to gel since spring ball, but I feel like I played next to him for a very long time.
Look, the thing you said about Donovan Jackson, he's one of the most athletic guys
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen. How does that athleticism show up with a guard?
You just look at he's 6'4", 315. He bench presses 225, 30 something times. He runs almost a sub 540. The freakish measures are off the charts, and you put him on football field, you put a helmet and pads on him, and you watch him go and strike and punch somebody, and it looks like dynamite exploded. So for me, it's pretty cool to play next to him and know that I have him in my head when I need him.
And then on your other side, Matthew Jones is a guy who sort of has fought, for a couple different years to be a starter, and now here he is in year 5 in that spot. Just, a guy who really sort of seemed to work to get to this point. What do you think of that?
I think Matt is someone that really exemplifies the brotherhood that we have here at Ohio State. Matt certainly could have went other places and started, but he stuck it out and kept fighting, kept grinding to be a Buckeye. And for me, it's been really cool to see Matt since my freshman year here. He was kind of a more quiet, laid-back guy, didn't really talk much, and then over the past 2 years, he really came out of his shell. And he's been somebody, especially in our offensive lineman, but he's the eldest statesman that we've looked up to, especially myself. It's like he has a little wisdom. He's been around the block a few times, and it's awesome to see the person he's turned into and the player he's turned into.
Coach Day said that he said something to the team the other day about Brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly. So Matt actually gave a speech about Brotherhood, and he talked a lot about how in our team, like, our culture's fight, and that's what he personified through his career here, and that's something he always tried to live up to. And I think he's a great person that when you look at for somebody who fought and is still fighting for everything they have, Matt Jones is your person. Matt, I've said this before, Matt's the only person I've ever seen that makes playing offensive line easy. and that's a really, hard thing to do because what we do, we have to move people from point A to point B against their will, and he makes it look effortless, which is just amazing for somebody that's as freakishly strong. And when his feet are on the ground, he's hard to move.
Luke, I know
Very, very heavy hands.
I know what you think of your defensive line. Notre Dame is very confident with their own. I don't know if you saw the quote. Did you see the quote?
Yeah, I think we've been putting some really good days together here. So for us, just focus on what we have to do and how to prepare for when they come in here on Saturday.
Did you see the Notre Dame quote?
Yeah, I saw it, but for us, it's just focus on what we have to do.
Luke, I know your teammate Howard Cross from high school is on their defensive line. Is it fun getting to go up against him again?
Yeah, I can't wait. Howie, yeah. So, Howie go way back. So for me, it's going to be really exciting to see him out there. And I know what kind of player he is and what he brings to the table. And I'm really pumped. I got a few things up my sleeve. Jokes for him, inside jokes when I see him.
What does that defensive line do well?
They do a lot of things. I think they're like they said, they're one of the best groups in the country, and I'm excited to see what they're able to do on Saturday.
There's a guy, the second-year starter here, kind of been around the block, played his role really well. What do you think of Luke Wypler? That guy, what does he do well?
Yeah, I think for Luke Wypler right now, he's been trying to really come out as a leader this year and lead the offensive line with a few new guys playing next to him. He's just trying to hold the helm down and protect C.J. Stroud. Really, that's it. That's his job.
Is it Wypler or Wypler?
Wypler.
I know.
Wypler. Yeah.
You talked in the third person more than those questions.
Exactly.
Luke, you were talking before about sort of that conviction you guys have about the short yardage situations. How do you help facilitate that success in those situations? How can you do that better now that you've been doing this for years?
Yeah, I think it's more about the comfortability in any situation. Last year maybe we weren't so comfortable in that situation. That's probably where we had the hiccups that we did. And now, like I said before, we look at the sign, we see third down. Obviously, not a position we want to be in, but it's more of, all right, here we go, rather than, oh shit. So, excuse my language, oops. It's like we're more excited now for that situation because we know we can thrive in that area of the field.
What's it like guarding Travion Henderson now that he's also entering his second year?
Oh my God, yeah. Trey's an amazing running back. Obviously you guys see the speed and the agility he brings to the field, and also his mental part of the game. The way he sees the field and the way he's able to set up our blocks, which is a huge part of it, understanding the schemes, and then in pass pro, I think that's a very underrated side of his game that gets overlooked a lot, is the way he's able to step in and make huge plays in the passing game to free up CJ to make big throws.
How often does he work on things that aren't just running the ball, like the passing text?
Yeah, he meets with us every day, so I think we always joke, like in practice, he'll make a big block in the pass game, like that's because you've been hanging out with us too long. So I think those are like some things that kind of go unnoticed for him, and that I'm super excited for him to showcase this year.
He's been described as a deep thinker. Do you see that?
Oh yes, I think Trey has, as a running back, been one of the smartest guy I've ever been around. So for me, it's been really cool to see how he's gone from year one now to kind of learning the offense to now having the offense down and understand like the real fine points that he has to perform.
What about off the field?
Off the field, he's a great guy. So I think for me, like hanging out with him off the field now that he's in year two, he's kind of opened up as a person. He's funny. He likes to joke around. Off the field, he's a great time.
Every year, it seems like everybody just likes to say, yeah, we're a more confident group than we were last year. We're more this than we were last year. Did you guys actually see some believe last year's behind the field just better than you were? Where does that come from? Is that because of Coach Fry? Is it because you guys all know each other better? What's the root of knowing that you're going to be better even though you haven't played since?
I think it comes from a lot of things. I think for us, it's the work that we've put in. We understand what our shortcomings were last year, and like I said before, the first part of any problem is to understand that there's a problem, admitting that there's a problem, and going to work to fix it. And I think that's what we've done over the last year, or 8-9 months, however long it's been now, is understanding what our problems were as an offensive line and working on them. And having Coach Fry come in has been a tremendous addition to our offensive line room and what he's been able to teach us and help guide us to where we want to go. So he has the same expectations as we do. And that's been really cool to see him come in and try to, he's in it with us every day. He does some of the drills with us. And it's been a lot of fun to kind of have him along with the journey for us.
Was it difficult to identify that there was a problem? You guys were, I think, top 20 in the country in every major defensive category.
Yeah, it was really easy to identify those problems. We didn't host that big trophy in the middle of January, so it was pretty simple to identify there was a problem.
Luke, one last thing. Have you seen Trey get the game slow down for him?
Oh yeah, just the way he's able to cut and kind of set up our blocks. It's the one biggest thing I've seen, especially in space, him be able to kind of navigate himself and set up blocks for himself to make bigger plays, next plays.
Is that something you notice on film, or can you see it?
Oh, I can see it live. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see it live. Like, I know the scheme, and I see him pushing it, and I see him cutting back and setting up the block for us, which is pretty cool to see.
Gary, set up the walk-off line. He said we didn't lift the trophy in January. You're like, mic drop.
I wasn't listening.